Welcome to the Arbutus Analyzer tutorial series. This tutorial will be how to define relational database tables using Arbutus Analyzer. To begin, simply right-click in the project overview and select New Table. Arbutus uses ODBC to connect to relational databases. This allows for maximum flexibility in terms of the number of databases we can connect with. Select ODBC, then click Next. The Data Source drop-down will give you a listing of all ODBC drivers installed on this machine. I'll select SQL Server. If you need security credentials to log into the database, you can simply type them in at the bottom here. To prevent you from having to do this every single time, you can click the little Save checkbox in the bottom left corner and we'll save this information to your registry. Also, to save time, you can click on the little Select by Schema checkbox, and this will allow us to present you with a list of schema and not load all tables for all schemas. For this SQL Server database, the only schema available is the DBO schema. When I click on this, it will load all of the tables that are available. Another nice feature is the speed search. If you have a long list of tables, you can simply just type in the name of the table or a portion of the name of the table you're trying to access. After selecting the table name, when you click on Next, by default, we'll go to the very end of the wizard and ask you to give it a name. At this stage, we're flattening the relational database table into a flattened file for faster processing in the future. When I click on Finish, I'll accept the default name of Orders and click on Save. I've now just defined the orders table from my SQL Server database. To go back and do the same process again, but choosing another table, I'll right-click in the project overview and select New Table. I'll select ODBC and click Next. When I choose SQL Server from the drop-down menu, you'll notice that the credentials are already filled in because I clicked the little Save checkbox from before. Again, I'll select the Schema checkbox and select Next. Choosing the schema will load my tables, and now I can start to type in the name of my next table to load. One of the options we also make available is the Edit Query checkbox. This allows more flexibility in terms of which fields you're going to select and whether you want to add some filter criteria. When I click on Next, you'll see all the fields are selected by default. If I click Next again, we'll get to the Where and Order clause screen. At this stage, if you know a little bit of SQL, you can type in your SQL where clause, or you can order the table based on a certain field or fields. In this case, I'll choose the country field. When I click on Next, again, I'll use the default name it provided and click on Finish. I'll flatten this customer's database table, and you'll also notice that the table is returned in the order based on country, just like I asked for. Another option we have, if I right-click, select Table, ODBC, Next, again, I'll use the same SQL Server database. If I want, I can select multiple tables at one time. In this case, I'll just select the first two on my list. When I choose this option, I don't get any choices in terms of what to name the file or what fields to select. It will grab every single field and just use the default name provided by the database. When I click Finish, you'll see two tables have been added automatically: DBO Access Class List and DBO Access Group. Instead of bringing in multiple tables at one time, we can also join tables. Again, I'll just go through and select ODBC, SQL Server. If I choose Customers, and if I choose Orders, Instead of bringing in multiple tables, now what we're going to do is do a joining of two tables. I'll join this based on the customer ID and click OK. If I click on the Edit Query checkbox, again, it provides me with more options. Next, I can choose a subset of fields from either of my tables. In this case, I'll just bring them all over. I can choose where clause and order clause information again. And in this case, I'll just bring over everything. So I'll click Next. Here I get an opportunity to give my table a good, long, meaningful name. So I'll change it to be something more meaningful than customers 2. I'll say joined customers orders by customer ID. That's one of the nice features we offer is long descriptive names up to 127 characters. And this is available for all tables or Arbutus objects, things like variables and field names as well. I'll go with the defaults, flatten this data, and there I have a join table joining together the customers and the orders tables based on a common key field. For more information about how to access relational database information in Analyzer, please contact your local support person or read the Analyzer help file.